Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Bows & Company. I am your host, Emily O, and I am joined by very exciting company today. Hello, Dad. Welcome back to the show.
Emily O, good to see you.
Great to see you. I'm so happy to be sitting down with you today on another episode of the podcast. We have much to discuss, and we always love seeing you on the show. And just a friendly reminder, you can watch our show on YouTube as well as listen to it. So,
I'm so happy to be here. I'm always happy to be here. Under any circumstance.
I know. I feel like this is just very fitting. We have a lot to discuss. You're looking wonderful in Navy. I feel like you never wear your Navy suit.
Well, it's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful
new
day.
tie.
It's a new tie.
Mom
yes.
got it for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I like my new suit and my tie.
I love it. I love Navy on you. So yeah, it is a gorgeous spring day. I feel like it's spring here in the Midwest. We finally made it into, the next season. The flowers are blooming, the birds are chirping, and I cannot stop crying and my nose can't stop running. So I know that it's spring and that the pollen is running rampant through our neighborhood. But
I have eye drops in my pocket.
I know. It's just, we're so sensitive to that. But it's a gorgeous day. It was a beautiful weekend. And how are you feeling about everything? We have a lot to talk about. Why don't we start with some bows and lows? What is your bow and what is your low?
My bow and my low. So my low would be when my dad passed away. My dad passed away on Good Friday in the 3 o'clock hour.
Yes.
Which for Catholics, they say that Jesus was crucified in the 3 o'clock hour. So he was very timely.
Very timely.
Very organized man. He was declining for a while, so we knew it was coming, but that would be a bow. That would be a low. The flip side, the bow would be the gathering, right? The wake and seeing my cousins and my family and people we hadn't seen in a long time. So that would be the low and the bow.
Yes. And we had the wake on Monday and then the funeral on Tuesday. And your dad was 94.
He was.
He's 94. He lived a tremendous life.
He did.
A tremendous life. And even, I obviously knew all these things, but even between the 2 days of everyone gathering, I learned even more.
So many good stories.
Yeah. And your mother passed away 2 years ago.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Jack passed away this past week. But it is kind of, you were there actually.
I was, yeah.
When he passed away.
I went and I got a haircut. And then I just casually took my time to go see my dad. He was in a coma. He was in rough shape. And then I came in, pulled a chair up, and like 30 minutes later, he passed away.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it was very, obviously this is never a good situation, but I feel like
peaceful.
It was peaceful and it was the best situation it could have been given the circumstances.
Yeah.
So yes, we had, and then it was obviously Easter over the weekend, and it did kind of work out because a lot of our family was in town already for Easter and people were just kind of around. So lots came and it was really a beautiful 2 days.
Yeah. A lot of people were here and then a lot of people came. So that was really convenient. It was nice and it was quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know what it is.
And I liked all the pictures.
Yes. We had my sister-in-law organized quite a few boards with lots of pictures. And it was fun to see you guys when you were little.
Yes.
There's a cute picture of you and my dad fishing.
We were at the Greenbrier.
Yeah. And you look very intense. Like, I'm a fisher.
I probably
woman.
was afraid of this fish too. Let's be real.
But you and Dad were fishing.
I do remember. I vaguely remember that too. We all had matching skirts on, but there was lots of pictures actually at the Greenbrier. We were always at the Greenbrier with your family.
Yeah.
Always at the Greenbrier. So that was really sweet that there were so many pictures. And also, can I tell a little one of my bows at the funeral? You were talking to somebody, but you were standing right near us. So Mom and the girls were sitting at the table and we were having lunch and it was lovely. And this woman came up to me and she was your dad's sister's daughter. Mm-hmm. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
And she had her phone out and she said, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I've almost seen a ghost. We were staring at you yesterday at the wake and then I'm looking at you again and you look just like my mother."
Which is my dad's sister.
Which is your dad's sister.
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, pull up a chair." I'm sorry. Somebody's talking about me. I want to hear more. And so she had this picture that she pulled up on her phone of her mother when she was younger. And this woman had red hair, but she was like, "You look just like her." So then we were looking at the pictures and then we got to talking and then she walked away and then she came back a little bit later and she was super sweet. I had never met her before. And she was like, "Do you mind if I take a picture of you? Because I want to show her other siblings." And so I took a picture. I'm like, "Please, honey, you have no idea how much I love getting my picture taken." And then she's like, "Could you do a profile?" And then her dad walked up, which it would have been Joe. Mm-hmm. Joe's wife would have been who I look like. And he was staring at me. And then he started tearing up.
Oh.
And then he said, you look just like her. And he said, it's your nose and your eyes.
Aw.
And you look just like her. And so then I told the woman, I said, well, actually, I kind of explained to her what I did. And then she pulled her phone out and I pulled her up on Instagram and she started following me. I said, we've got a lot more material here if you ever need more pictures of me or any other angles. But it's so funny because I guess I didn't realize how much, well, first of all, I also thought looking at those pictures, I don't know how I hijacked this whole conversation to talk about me, but I thought the pictures of Grandpa when he was younger, I thought we looked alike.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize how much I look like a coin until this weekend. But everyone always says I look like you, which I do. But I actually look like Grandpa's beautiful sister.
Mary.
I'm like, you know what? We're going to go with this story.
Yeah, Mary is beautiful. By the way, anything to get a follower. I mean, anything to get a follower.
No, literally. Anything. Seriously. Yeah, I mean, I did it more because just to stay in touch. But then I said, could you text me that picture of, so I have the picture of her mom.
Of Mary. Oh, wow.
Yeah, on my phone.
I'd like to see that, yeah.
I'll show you. Do you want me to pull it up right now?
I would like to, yeah.
So we can, I mean, let me pull it up. Hold on. So yeah, that was my little bow. I thought that was very sweet.
My dad had three sisters. So there were four of them, and there were three sisters. Dad being the oldest.
Here, this is a picture.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Wow. I guess I've never seen.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
And I never really realized how much my nose went up. And her husband was like, it's your nose.
Yeah. Wow. That looks like a movie person.
I know, but she had red hair.
Yeah,
I guess those are. That's what he said.
Oh, she did have red hair.
But isn't those my eyes too?
Yeah.
So
that's your great aunt.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Why didn't her kids look like her though? How did it come over to me? Like what? So anyway, I was just tickled. So anyway, that was a bow. Obviously the low was Grandpa Coyne passing away. But again, the mass was beautiful.
Yep.
And we had a very pretty day for.
The wake was well attended for a gentleman who was 94 years old.
Yes.
I mean, I guess I didn't think that many people would. I mean, it was a consistent group of people for 3 hours.
Easily.
Yeah. We almost decided not to have a wake because we were like, oh, he's 94.
Right.
But
he always wanted a wake,
There
right?
were lots of people.
There was a ton of people the whole time. We were talking, and it was also seeing people that we hadn't seen. Well, a lot of people who you work with came, so we got to meet them, which was nice. And
I'm not sure if you can say this, but you probably can on this podcast. You guys looked great. If there is like funeral chic, if that's a term, you guys looked. Yeah, I loved your black outfits.
Well, because it kind of all came together very quickly, we had to. Yeah. I mean, I always have a stash of black dresses, so. Not that this is the point of this, but I had a very tasteful Cinque Sept dress that I've actually worn for like Emily on Bo stuff, and I pulled it back out.
But you look great. But the four of you, and then the next day you looked great, and it was a sunny day, so there you were as a foursome in sunglasses, looking. If you can say fantastic at a burial, you did outdoors.
Dad walked back down the hill and he goes, I know this is not what it's about, but you four girls just look so beautiful. And I was like, Terry, so funny. But no, overall, so yeah, that was kind of our week last week. But like I said, it ended up being just a wonderful celebration of his life.
Yeah, no, I was, the decline was rough for me. Mm-hmm. So the ending probably was a relief on some level because he was in rough shape.
Right.
But it was great to see his friends and hear. I mean, I have people who called me a couple dadays ago to tell me. One guy just called me out of the blue just to tell me a story about my dad.
I ran into somebody over the weekend and they were like, I heard about your grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yes.
No, they're all nice stories. I mean, my dad was, well liked.
He was well liked.
Yep.
Yeah, he was so sweet. Well, that's also fitting that you're here on the podcast because I did want to, discuss that, and also for memory purposes, we can look back on that and kind of in keeping with this theme of your dad, and he was such a wonderful dad. Today, I always get questions for both you and Mom, just about raising kids, raising daughters, and any suggestions that they have. Because I do have a lot of young moms who listen to the podcast. So today I have some questions. I have a piece of paper, if you can see.
Usually I have the piece of paper. Look at you. We started early. You are on.
I am organized.
On point.
I have taken a page out of your book, and I have some questions for you. So today we are going to be talking about you as a dad and as a father, but specifically raising girls, because that's what you did. Yeah. So we're going to just answer some of these questions. I've kind of compiled things that the audience I've just seen come through and then kind of just put my own flair onto it.
All right, let's go.
So he has not seen these. So if you don't, we can just answer at your own pace. All right. First question. What did raising daughters teach you about patience, communication, or empathy?
I think that my raising daughter, first of all, I was happy to have 3 girls because I do think it's easier to have 3 of the same, no matter what you have. I mean, I come from a family of mostly boys and a girl.
Right.
What did it teach me? I would say it taught me mostly about empathy. I think that is something that doesn't come naturally to most men. And I don't think, you know, you need empathy probably when you're out chasing wild boars and then bringing them back to the village. And women need the empathy because they are more nurturing.
Right.
So I think it's something that I'm deficient in, and maybe most men are. But I would say I've learned empathy. And it's something that is more learned than I thought it would be. Like, I think I thought I was more empathetic. But you probably are an empath more than the others, more so, meaning like you can kind of feel people's emotions more. So I would say that the 3 girls have taught me you're all joyful, you're all emotional, you love to talk, and you love each other to be in the moment. Like at the wake, for example, you guys were holding court, having a great time, talking away to people you didn't even know. And there's a lot of joy in that.
Right.
And so I think that too often I'm probably too direct or too blunt. And maybe that's me, maybe that's a man. But I would say if I were given a choice of those 3, it would be empathy.
Empathy. Yeah. You are very empathetic. I also feel like you are very, very patient, just like as your default setting.
Yeah. Maybe I am.
Like
think
in
I am.
family.
Yeah. I think I'm patient. I also think mom's in charge.
Yeah.
So it's easier knowing that most of the big decisions probably fall to her with my input. But, we live in a maternal household.
Right.
Let's be clear.
Yeah, but that's why, I mean, you are very patient.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
You're not like, we never have to worry, like, if we're going to bring something up and talk about it, like, it's never dismissed.
No.
Which I think is always something like, we know you're going to listen.
Yeah. I would say, yeah, maybe that's true. That's funny because I was thinking about my dad recently, and when I was the youngest of 6, so I grew up with a different dad than the older ones. He was successful at the time and reasonably well known, but he was very patient, and he would ask simple questions. Like when in my junior year, I was on the speech and debate team and I lost a tournament, and he said, well, maybe you should work harder. But he didn't say it in a way that was mean.
Right.
He wasn't judging. He was literally like, maybe you should.
Yeah, maybe that could have helped you win.
And I didn't lose a tournament from that point on for the next year and a half.
Yeah. Wow. My God.
Because I think of myself.
One sentence really stuck with you.
Yeah, because it was a nice non-judgmental sentence that made me think, well, he understands to work hard. Maybe he's actually right.
Right.
So I think you can deliver things in a manner that can be judgmental or non-judgmental.
You know what I saw recently was, a lot of, I don't know, because I've only had Terry as my father, but I do think maybe a lot of times people go the whole like tough love route.
Yeah.
As a dad, and you
to
never,
the girls or to the boys?
To both.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't think that's the right route to go. As somebody who doesn't have kids and is not married, but it was never like that. It was very like we listen, nurturing, like empathetic, very patient, lots of communication in our house. I would say mostly because we like to talk.
Yeah, I wouldn't think tough love would be a good way. I didn't have tough love. I mean, let's be clear. There was no tough love. I wouldn't even say he was stern. He was fair, but I wouldn't tough love would be...
Well, no, it was in context of, I thought this was very interesting. I think I shared this with you before, but I was reading this thing and it was a lot of times, tough love with either boys or girls. And maybe that's great for boys. I don't really know. But with girls, their dad has to be the one to build them up and build them up and build them up, because then when they get out in the real world, everyone's just going to try and tear them down.
Right. Men,
women, dating, whatever. Girls are mean. And then, but if you have that solid foundation of like, you've been built up, and I thought of you,
yeah,
because you always still every day build us up. Even if the walls are falling down, you're always like, no. So next question. How did your parenting evolve as we grew into young women?
I think I appreciate you more every day. I think I appreciate the fact that I have 3 girls.
Mm-hmm.
You guys really light up a room. You take a quiet day and make it fun. It would be lonely without 3 girls.
Yeah.
It would be.
I mean, we're kind of the life of the party.
Yeah, no, I mean,
yeah.
Like, I'm so glad that you guys all live near us.
Right.
Because it would be lonely if you were leaving me. Right? I mean, like my siblings. No, but I mean, like,
right.
My
yes.
siblings all live in Cleveland. So my
right.
mom and dad were always happy to see. We'd go over there all the time. And stop in and see my dad on Saturdays. So I don't know if it's evolved as much as I am probably more grateful as I get older. You still want to hang out with us.
Yeah. I mean, we love being with each other. Why have siblings if you're not going to see them, you know?
Right, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, built-in best friends.
It is.
Yeah. No,
Very
that's a good
supportive.
answer. Yeah. Okay. What's one thing you hope your daughters always remember about how you raised them?
I hope they're always confident, I suppose. I suppose they're, I think you should be confident. You're all smart. You work hard. I would hope that the confidence stays with you.
Yeah. You do. I think you got that one. You got that one for us.
Yeah. But I think it's hard in your world, though, because you guys live in a social media world where I read an article that when Elon Musk bought Twitter, 80% of the comments were from bots.
Oh.
And I don't know what that number is today, but I do wonder when you're on Instagram, how much of that is just fake?
Or how much of that is a small group that is
Right.
just, yeah. Yeah, I think if you didn't grow up in a household that lifted you up and built you up and everything like that, I don't know how you would function.
Yeah, I mean...
Seriously, because if I didn't have this support, and even if you're not doing social media, I mean, in the real world, there's always going to be somebody who's saying something snarky or whatever.
Yeah.
So you have to have that, like, because then we'll come over to the house and I'll be like, dump everything. And then when you break it down, you're like, it doesn't seem as daunting.
But the algorithms also know that aggressive behavior is more popular on social media sites than anything else. I mean, more than love or.
Yeah.
So the aggressive behavior tends to get more clicks, so you get more aggressive behavior.
Yes.
But if you could make sure people weren't anonymous, like on LinkedIn. I mean, you don't see, you know what I mean? Like on LinkedIn,
Right.
you don't see people.
Right. You would never say some of these things in person.
You would never say these things.
You would never say
No,
these
no.
things.
So I guess, don't look at the comments and be confident. That would be the answer there.
I do, because I still get a handful of comments, but I will say it does not, I can manage it so much better because of kind of your guidance of.
Yeah. If you could turn the
just
comments
noise. Yeah.
off. 'Cause
Right.
Maybe when people direct message you, maybe you respond. But I think you get a lot of direct messages too.
But I also don't, at this point, I don't understand why you are consuming content that you feel so negatively towards. Like that's on you. You shouldn't turn it on or you shouldn't follow if you're going to get so fed up and leave a nasty comment.
Yeah.
Like that has nothing to do with me.
But it's also on some level a drug addiction because you are getting dopamine hits and the person typing it in, saying mean things is somehow receiving some gratification.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Whether it's a negative or positive gratification, but they are doing something that in their world they think is making them happy, even at the expense of others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at some level, it comes with the territory. So you almost like can't get mad at it too much because it's like, don't put your life out online. Like be a private person if you don't want, which is also the other thing that I think of. Like you really can't expect to post and share and do a weekly podcast and then be so shocked when you get mean comments. Like not that you did it to yourself, but it comes with the territory.
And my response would be don't read the comments.
Right. Which is what you say all the time.
Yeah, just literally.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care what people say about me if I don't care about them.
Yes,
I
you
don't,
said that as well.
and I don't mean
Yeah.
that. I'm not trying to be cold.
Right.
I just, for whatever reason, am wired where I don't care.
No.
I mean, you can say whatever
No,
you
I
want.
know you don't. And I keep that in mind. So maybe, I don't know, guys. It's a scary place, isn't it? It's a scary world out there. All right, next question. What's one lesson you really hoped to pass on to your daughters? So more of a lesson that you, I guess it's kind of like our last question, but a little different.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, I would think hard work and humility. But I would say those would be the lessons that sometimes the easiest way around a problem is through it. And the only way through it is to work hard.
Right. Integrity.
Yeah.
A lost art,
Yeah.
that you have for sure. You always are doing the right thing when nobody's looking. And that's like a weird thing when you're, especially if you're like in a really, and you're like, but now I really look for integrity.
Yeah.
Very niche.
I'm not sure how you would sift for integrity in a dating pool. Like I hear what you're saying.
I can see it now because through you, I can see it.
What would be the features of a boy who has integrity? How would that manifest itself?
Doing things that are the right thing without anybody looking or anybody ever knowing.
Yeah.
Like that would be some with integrity, being honest.
Yeah. Being honest would be right.
I would say being honest. Loyalty, I would wrap it into integrity.
Chivalrous
I always think of that. This would be an example of Terry's integrity. You didn't know that we were getting so deep on this lovely Monday, Tuesday, whenever you're listening to it. When you had jury duty and the guy who was there.
Oh, the poor guy with parking. Oh,
yeah. And you called the guy because you ran the parking lot.
There was this poor guy parked in the wrong parking lot. He went to the wrong place, and it was $54.
Yeah.
And it was really upsetting. It wasn't my dad's parking lot, but I knew the guy, and I said, hey, you got to help this guy out. And I was going to pay for it, and the guy said, don't worry about it, and he ripped it up. So I went the next day, and I told the gentleman, like, there was a mistake. The bill's gone. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but you didn't tell anybody that you did that for like a really long. You just like went and did that, like.
Yeah. Well, I told the guy.
Well, right. No, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like you just did it and like went about your life.
Well, I felt bad for the guy.
But you do stuff like that all the time. That's integrity.
It's an homage to my father.
So if you're dating somebody who doesn't have integrity, I recommend breaking up with them. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Totally kidding. You have to have integrity.
Maybe-
It is a lost art. Where are the men? Where are the men? I don't even know if that's something that, can be taught or if it's just you just have it. What do you think dads of daughters today should know?
What do I think dads of daughters today should know?
If there's a young mom listening with a young father who just had a daughter, what is one thing that you would like to tell them?
I think I've said this before. Maybe I haven't, but I'll say it again. That mom taught me the value of saying, "Aw."
We've talked about this before.
Right, we have, right?
Right.
And I think that is just emblematic of listening.
Well, I think that, men are wired to fix a problem. So I feel like if you say something to them, they go into fixing mode. Unless if he's not doing that, you should probably also break up with him. Because loser. But sometimes we don't need you to fix it. We just want you to listen. And
Right.
you've learned to just listen.
That's exactly what it would be.
No, that's what it is.
Especially with girls, ladies, women, whatever, that listening by itself may be the solution.
Yes, sometimes we just need to talk through.
Right. By the way, what I just said there is really deep. That's something like, because the guys always, at least most guys, want to.
Should we clip it?
Yeah.
Should we clip this?
But most guys want to solve the problem. Last thing that I want to see is a girl cry, right? Oh,
Right.
that's the worst thing in the world. I'd break
Right.
my heart. Fix something.
Right.
Right. So I think men typically want to fix something, and sometimes fixing it may simply be listening.
Correct.
And that's what I would say to girl dads, is that listen.
Listen to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if he's not fixing something, just to reiterate, you're dating a bum. Next question.
Mm-hmm.
What values did you hope to instill in your daughters above all else? I think you kind of already answered this. Hard work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else?
In addition to what we said, maybe loyalty.
Yeah. You're very loyal.
Yeah. But I think that would be something that I would want to instill, in addition to everything we talked about, that it's hard to see in the short term the benefit of loyalty in the long term.
Okay.
And sometimes, you can do a heroic act by saving someone who's crossing the street and you pick them up before they get hit by a bus. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's heroic to be loyal for a very long time. And the value of that, I think as I get older, I realize that there's a lot of things that you realize time makes them valuable. You stayed together, right? And there's a value in staying together and being loyal, but you don't see it in the near term. But over time, you're like, well, that was a heroic act, right?
Right.
I mean, take my dad. He delayed gratification and made sure that his kids all went to great schools and built a business, but he never really focused on himself and splurged on himself. And and you look back and you're like, wow, look what he gave us.
Right.
And that was an act of heroism in the form of loyalty. Like he was loyal to what was better for his family than what was better for him. And there's a lot of value. I mean,
Did everyone hear that?
He didn't have a lot of hobbies. I mean, he didn't know how to ride a bike.
Right.
Isn't that kind of weird?
He did have quirky stuff like that. He had the huge tricycle.
Yeah, but
with like 3 wheels and a basket. I just remembered that they would have that at the house.
Yeah, so I
so
guess,
loyalty and hard work would be the two things that
yeah, and there is something heroic about loyalty over time.
Quote that. Write
Yeah.
that down. If anyone's taking mental notes in the grocery store, on your drive, or on the treadmill walking.
I think that's the worst thing you could do to me is to be disloyal, because I do put a lot of value into my relationships and my friendships, and I expect the same. And I think that I probably shouldn't. Maybe.
No, I don't think so. I think that loyalty is a lost art as well.
Yeah, that's something to look forward to, man. Right there. I mean, I don't know how you would see that except over time.
No, but I think that you also, I think in the beginning of a relationship, you're like, and I'm not talking about he doesn't cheat. That's not what I'm talking about. Obviously, fiercely.
Let's be clear. Yes, absolutely.
I know, but I think that in this day and age, he's loyal. Great job. He didn't like go and cheat on you. I'm talking about fiercely loyal, like full right, like teammate mode. And whatever this person does, I've got their back. And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, loyalty can be also come in the form of making sure that, my partner is safe and not being put in situations that,
That's true. I like
that's
that.
how I look at
I
loyalty.
Like that. Yeah, no, so that there's
because respect goes into loyalty.
Like if you're out on a date and all of a sudden they're like, oh, you can take an Uber home by yourself.
Yeah, that's if you are not worried about how I get home, that's to me a form of disrespect, which is in turn you are not loyal to this unit right here.
Yeah, not heroic, not manly, right?
Not manly at all. To look at the little day-to-day things, that's what loyalty is. It's not just, oh, great, like you don't, text or cheat on me, but like
that better not be the ante. There better be more than
what
that.
we're talking about. I think is the little things that all add up to loyalty. And I don't actually think that men sometimes know when they're being loyal and when they're not being loyal. I think if you say, well, of course I'm being loyal. No, you're not.
Yeah, I don't think you have to, I don't think there's ever a scenario where I have ever thought of anything that mom has ever done that wasn't loyal. I mean, I'm probably blindly loyal to your mom, but
no, I'm saying you're blindly loyal, but that's fine. That's great.
Yeah. And
find a man who's blindly loyal, right? Everyone,
get a check. We need to have like a checklist when we go on a date. Can you scale of 1 to 10? How do you view your loyalty?
No, seriously. Or what? I think something easy on a date. You could just be like, what are some things? Not like the first date. Like, don't be a freak, but like 4th, 5th date in. Okay, what are some things that you value in a relationship? 3 top things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get an app for it. And like, oh my God, I just found this new app.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is so funny. I'm just gonna have you fill out this questionnaire super quick. And if your answers don't align, we'll never speak to each other. 1 word to describe raising daughters. This is our last question.
Joy.
Love. We are fabulous.
No, I mean, look around here, right? This is such a happy room. There's your name over there. It's just bright. I mean, when I heard this, and I'm not sure if it's right, but when you go into a paint store, a man is told 7 or 8 colors. Mm-hmm. When a woman goes into a paint store, they're told like 38 colors.
Yeah.
So you guys live in a technicolor world. I mean, there's you or mom or any of the girls, you walk into a room and you will know what everyone is wearing, where the flowers are, all of the beauty and art you will see. And then I'll come home and like, what was she wearing? I think she had blue on. You make the world technicolor.
Joyful. I love it. Yeah. That's us, guys. We are just one bundle of fun. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed these questions. I hope you enjoyed the questions. We loved hearing your answers. And I thought this was a really good kind of theme to wrap into just this week in honor of your dad and talking about, fatherhood in general. And I think that these are also things, because I know I always get questions about dating, which is important. But sometimes, we don't always need to talk about the men. Like, nobody cares. Yeah. But I think that this is a good thing to weave into, if you're my age or whatever in your 20s and you're looking for somebody who you want to spend your life with, these are the things that matter.
Yeah. What did they say? Was it Proverbs 17:6?
What did they say?
They say that the father is the pride of the children.
Aw, that is so sweet.
Yeah. So
Love
that was
it.
kind of the theme of
You're
today's
such a deep man. Such a deep man with so many quotes right at the forefront.
It was a good quote, though, last week. Someone sent that to me and reminded me of it, and I thought it was really good. Fathers,
that's beautiful.
There's some dispute whether it's fathers are the pride of their children or fathers are the pride of their sons.
Yeah.
I like to say fathers are the pride of their children.
Fathers are the pride of their children. Yeah, exactly. And but for us, we keep you light, don't we? Look alive, Terry. We really appreciate you coming back and listening to another episode of Bows and Company, and we hope you all have a wonderful end to April and a beautiful start to May and are enjoying the spring wherever you are, and that your allergies are not killing you like mine, because my nose was running this entire show. But that's okay, because the flowers are so beautiful. We have a lot of great content coming your way, so be sure to follow us on all of our other social media, and we hope to see you again soon on the show. This was so lovely to, I feel like you've been on more regularly, which is good,
I feel like I should be on
we need
more.
that positive male energy.
We should do one with Mom and I and you.
I know they always ask us about that. They want like you two to kind of talk to
Get
each
a
other.
third microphone.
We could, or we could just like share one, and you two could share one and go back and forth. So thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to follow me on all my social media. Have a great week, everyone, and remember that everything is in fact better with a bow. Bye-bye now.